Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be solving the shuffle the array question, which is a LeetCode question. It says, well, it's marked as easy. It's not that difficult, but we're going to give it a try. I think all the questions count and all of them are important. This is one of the most common questions, so one of the questions that I've seen the most. So I thought I'd just give it a try. All right, so let's just read the question first. It says, given the array nums consisting of 2n elements in the form of x1, x2, ... xn, y1, y2, ... yn. So return the array in the form x1, y1, x2, y2, and then all the way to xn, yn. All right, so let's just write down what we have. All right, so it says we're given an array which is named nums, and this is equal to, well, it has, so let's just go with example 1, right? So we have 2, we have a 5, right? And this is an array of elements, and we're also given n equal to 3 for this example. And well, here it says that, the explanation is that you have x1, x2, x3, and then you have y1, y2, y3. And then the answer is, it has to look in this way. So x1, y1. So x1, 2, y1, 3, and then so forth and so on. So x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y3, and so forth and so on. Alright, so this is what we have, right? And it says that the original array has this form. So you have x1, and here you have x2, and it goes x to the n, right? But in this case we have n is equal to 3, so then we'll go all the way up to x to the third, or subscript 3 here. So this will be x subscript 3, and this is where y begins. So y1, y2, and then we have y3. So that's what we currently have. But we want to shuffle the array in a way that we get our new array to be in the way of, x1, y1. So this is how we want our new array to look. Or let's just name it new rather. All right, so that's what we have, and this is what we have, and this is what we want. Alright, so how do we solve this problem? So we're gonna use Python to solve it, and we're gonna set a new we're just gonna define a new array here. It's gonna be an empty array. So this is how you do it, and here you already have like the array nums, so you're already taking that as an input, so you don't have to worry about that one. So we're gonna set an empty array, which is gonna be this array. So we have to loop through the array and then just extract what we want, and then, well, we have to shuffle the array, or we can just create a new array and append all of these all of the elements in the array. We can append it in this way. So that's what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna say that j, we're gonna have two loops. So we're gonna say that j is equal to n, and then we're gonna create a for loop that says for I in range, it's gonna be from 0 to n. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna append some of the elements from this array to the new array. So nums, which is the existing array, and we're gonna append I, which is gonna be 0 in this case. And I'm gonna walk through the code. I'm just trying to type it here, explain as much as I can, but then I'll go back to it. So now new. And we're also gonna append the items that have to do with y. This is j, but that have to do with y. I'll explain. And then we have that j is equal, well, we're gonna increase j by 1, and then return the new array. So we're just gonna define a new array. It's gonna be an empty array. So we're just gonna create a new array, and we're gonna append all these elements in this way. All right. So how do we do that? So we're gonna define that j is equal to n. So why do we do that? So we know that n is equal to 3. You can see these two as you can take them as two subarrays. The one that is, you know, like X array and the Y array. So we want to iterate over this array and over this array, and then just extract the elements accordingly, right? So we know that n equal to 3 is gonna define where one of the subarrays end and where the other one begins. In this case, you know, x3 is the last element for these, for the x's, and y1 is the first element for, and it starts at 3 as well, is the first element for the y's, right? So we know it's gonna go x1, x2, x3, and then it's gonna begin at y1, y2, y3. So what we want to do is create a loop that says for I in range from 0 to whatever n is, right? So in this case it's 3, so it's gonna loop through, so it always starts at 0, right? So 0, 1, and 2. So it's gonna loop through from 0 to 2. This is gonna be 3, but you know you don't count the 3, so it's just from 0 to 2. It's gonna loop through the x's, and we're gonna extract one of the x's, and we're gonna append it to the new array. So we're gonna do that every time that we loop. And let me just draw it so that you can see what we're doing here. I think it's easier if you see it. So we're saying that j is equal to n, right? This is 3, and then for I in range from 0 to 3, so we start at 0, right? So I is gonna be 0, and then we just have this part, which is new data append, and then from this array extract 0. So this element from that array just appended to the new array. That's what we're saying here. And you know, nums, when I is equal to 0, we have the first element, which corresponds to 2, which is x1. So this is gonna get appended to the new array. So it's gonna be 2, and that's x1, right? So this is how it looks the first time that it loops through. And we also have to append when j is equal to 3, which is here. And what do we have when j is equal to 3? We have the nums, then here we have 3. It's gonna be equal to, well, in this case, this is 3, right? So then we're gonna have 3. So that's 3. We're gonna put it here. So that's the second element of the new array. And as you can see, it's already looking like x1, y1. So x1. And then we're gonna, at the end of the loop, we're gonna increase j by 1. So if it was 3, now it's gonna be 4. And then we're gonna loop again. So let's just let's go through the loop one more time. So now j is gonna be equal to 4 because we already looped through it once, and I is gonna be equal to 2. I mean to 1 because we started at 0. So then we do the same thing. So we're gonna append this element from the array nums, the element that has the index, which is 1 here, the index 1, which is gonna be 5. And we're also gonna append the element that has index j4, which is gonna be 4. So 5 and 4. So this is gonna go here. Let me just get rid of that because it looks like a number. So just comma 5. That looks worse. So then we're gonna append 5 here, comma. We're also gonna append 4 here to the new array. And these elements are gonna be x2 and y2. Because this is y1, this is y2, right? And then j at the end of this loop is gonna be equal to 5. Alright, so finally we're gonna loop through the array one more time. This is the last time because it goes all the way to 2. So now we have that j, all this is equal to 5, and I is equal to 2. When I is equal to 2, we have that it corresponds to the element 1. And then when nums is equal to 5, this is for j, we have that it corresponds to the element 7. So we'll have 1 and 7 this time. And then we're gonna append 1, and we're gonna append 7, and then it's gonna be done. So x3 y3, because it goes all the way to x3 y3, because n is equal to 3. So then the next time j is gonna be equal to 6, but we're not gonna loop anymore because I is gonna be equal to to 3, right? And we just go from 0 to 3. So that's where you stop. And then you just return the new array, which is gonna be the array, but it's gonna be in this form: x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3. So if we go here and let me run the code, it says that it's outside the function. This is just let's just put it there, the indentation. Alright, so now we got that the input is this and the output is gonna be the new array, but this time it's arranged in the way that they're asking for. Alright, and we can maybe give it another test case here. So let's just pick this example 2, right? So 1, and then we say that n is equal to 4. So let's just run that code, which is this one, and we should get this as the answer. And as you can see, it's accepted. And then we have this is the old array, and then when we shuffled it, or when we create a new array appended with the elements appended in this way, then we have this, which is the answer. So let's just submit the answer here, and you can see that's accepted, and this is how fast it was and all of that. Alright, so that's all. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.